guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another Ask Nissy. I love doing Ask Nissies. Like, they make me feel like the mum or even the auntie that I really am in my heart and in my soul. This is the real me. But basically today is one coming from Snapchat, and of course the person has asked, oh my gosh, my eye is twitching. Can you see it? It just stopped, but it felt like it was just twitching. Anyway, yeah, today's question is from somebody that has asked to stay anonymous, and of course, you guys know that I always respect your anonymity. That word, basically respecting the fact that you want to stay anonymous. So yeah, I'm just gonna read out the question and then I'm gonna delve straight into it. And if you're wondering about my hair is my asymmetrical wig from RPGSHOW. This wig, yeah, I don't even know, it's done wonders. It's done absolute like wonders on my life. Like, sorry, I'm just staring at myself, but I love this wig so much. I've just turned it into a middle parting. I wanted to have like a middle parting, something a little bit different. But yeah, middle parting, and I love this hair so very much. I'll leave all the information for the hair in the description box below, so don't even worry about that. I'll leave that all below. But yeah, it's basically my asymmetrical peak mill wig, but I've just shifted the parting a bit and made it into a middle parting. So hope you guys like it. Anyway, let's get into the question now. Right, it says, hi Nissy, sorry for messaging at this time, but so much is going through my head. I'm 13 going into year 9. I'm trying to figure out what time they even messaged me. At 10:51. I thought it was gonna be late or something. But anyway, I'm 13, okay, 13, going into year 9, and I just feel so useless. I'm fat and wear a size 16 to 18. No one really says anything bad about me, but it's just coming to a point where there's a huge knock in my confidence. I try to diet, but I only get tempted to eat more. I'm trying to go days without eating or try crash diets or starve, but it's just not working. I feel like the ugly and the fat one out of all of my friends. But the sad thing is, I come across as such a strong person. I hate to feel weak, and I don't open up to people. People always open up to me and come to me for advice, and it will be uncomfortable for me to talk to them. Me lacking confidence has pushed away so many opportunities, and if someone was to come to me and have the same problem, I would know exactly what to say, but it's easier said than done. At this point, I really don't know what to do. I pray and everything, but I just don't feel happy. School is fine, but PE during school just makes me feel so depressed and emotional because I'm not capable of doing what most people my age can do. I apologize for this being so long, but please, do you have any tips? Do you have any tips to help me? And then she goes and say, you're such a wonderful person and you're so inspiring, and then puts love hearts. First and foremost, thank you so much for sending in your question. It is definitely brave for you to open up to somebody else, especially someone that you don't know personally. Like me and this person I've never met before. I don't know them other than on Snapchat, and to open up to them and to share such a deep part of you. And the one thing that I remember thinking to myself when I first read her message, and I even replied to her saying the same thing, was, wow, it is crazy and insane to think of how much you remind yourself of me when I was your age. So those that have been on my channel for a little while will know that, growing up, I was big, basically. I was the fat friend, or I always saw myself as the fat friend. I was pretty big. When I was around, the age of, I don't know when it was, I think 10, I was wearing like a size 12, like a size 4, pushing like size 12, size 14, and I was getting bigger and bigger. Like I was pretty big for my age. And then when I hit the age of 14, so when I was in about year 9, I remember it was like year 9 going into year 10, I think it was, I basically lost all of this weight. And I haven't spoken about my weight in a very long time actually, and I really wanted to make an update video because there's a lot that I've been going through mentally and just in myself, and even till this day I still have my struggles, though I'm growing and I'm a lot better than how I was before, and I truly am learning and have learned to love myself. It's still, I still have my days when I find it very, very difficult, and more recently, I don't know what it is, but I've just been feeling really insecure about my body, and I feel like I've put on weight, but then I look at myself and I'm like, no, maybe I've lost weight. Then yeah, I'm gonna make a whole video on that. But basically, I was really big at one point, then I lost weight, not the best of ways. This wasn't intentional, but I basically just stopped eating. So for like a good few months, it was a few months, I literally just, my appetite just disappeared, and I've never been to the doctors about it before, so if there's any doctors that want to sit down and talk to me about it, listen, shout out, hit me up. We can sit down. If you're a nutritionist or anything like that, hit me up and we can talk. But I've never been to a doctor before. But I kind of diagnosed myself, so I kind of gave myself a self-diagnosis of the fact that it was maybe a mental thing, it was a psychological thing, where because I was so uncomfortable for so long with my weight, and I don't think you guys even understand, like, I hated my body, like, to the point where I couldn't look at myself in the mirror. I couldn't be in a room with other people and be getting changed, even family members. So you know when, you know, your cousins and stuff are around your house, like my cousins used to come to my house all the time when we were young. They would sleep over. I physically couldn't take off my clothes in front of them. I had to go either into a corner. Like, I remember this so clearly, as though I was watching myself. But I remember there was this one day where I was getting changed in my room, and my cousin was there. My cousin Hannah was there at the time. We were really young, but I was so uncomfortable. There was like a cupboard, and I would open up the cupboard so that it would be like, the cupboard will basically, the wardrobe, or whatever you want to call it, the door would be blocking me so that she wouldn't be able to see me, or no one would be able to see me. And I think I remember getting really upset that day, like being like, no, like, get out, I don't want you to see me. But that's just basically a tiny picture to kind of show you how insecure I was. I don't think there's any way for me to truly explain to you how insecure I was and how I saw myself, but looking back is very hurtful. But yeah, the only reason that I even mention that is because I understand where you are coming from completely. You know, I was 13 and I remember feeling exactly the same feelings. She says that she feels useless, I'm fat, and I wear a size 16 to 18. And the joke is, I was in the same boat. No one really said anything bad, because you say no one really says anything bad about me, but it's just coming to a point where it's a huge knock to my confidence. You know, I was exactly the same. You know, my friends and my family were amazing. I never got bullied or anything like that. Like, I never got bullied about my weight. Yeah, there were people that made comments here and there. Like, you know, people would come and tell me about comments that were made. Like, oh, some people thought that I would never know, but people would call me like a light-skinned snowman, and like all this stupid stuff that kids say. But to my face, as in, you know, some of the extreme stories that you hear online of people getting bullied, I was never that person. I never got bullied. I always had friends. Though even in secondary school, I never had like my squad. I was that person that got on with everyone. I literally bounced around. I had friends. I was happy. Like, there was nothing really to make me feel like, oh, like my life is horrible, my life is horrible. But within myself, I just knew that I didn't like what I saw in the mirror, and it was a knock to my confidence. And I was that person that tried to go days without eating. It never happened. It wasn't successful, because it's the most stupid thing that you could ever do in your life. I tried the crash diets. Like, even till now, I am the worst with yo-yo dieting. Like, 1 minute I'm on it like Sonic, and I'm like, yeah, as of today, healthy eating, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Then within like a week, I've gone back to eating, not even necessarily trash, but just eating whatever, and not paying attention to the promises that I made to myself. But when I was in school, it was even worse. And then even things like trying to starve yourself. Trust me, I've been there, done it all. And I think the one thing that I can say about that is, number one, don't do crash dieting. Don't do the whole, I'm just gonna stop eating and see what happens. I'm telling you right now, you will suffer more long-term consequences than having your short-term gain of, I've lost a bit of weight. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I lost weight in not the best of ways. And that wasn't even because I chose to. It was literally, I woke up one morning and the smell of food made me feel sick. Like, I could have one bite of something and I'd be full. And if I tried to eat any more, I would literally feel like I was gonna throw up. This was something that I did not choose. It wasn't something that I woke up and decided, like, today's the day I'm gonna starve myself. It didn't, that's not how it worked. And I'm now suffering the consequences of that. Why? Because I lost so much weight so dramatically that now I have excess skin. You know, my arm has excess skin. I have excess skin on my thighs. So my body in general, it should be a little bit smaller, but because of all the way that I had lost weight, and because after that as well, I was the queen of yo-yo dieting, my body has not reacted well to it. So yeah, I might have lost weight, and yeah, you guys might be like, oh my gosh, she on fleek, look at my Instagram, and you're like, yeah, she's fire. trust me, I know how to hide clothes. I wear waist trainers most of the time. I was even gonna wear my waist trainer today, but I couldn't find it, so I couldn't wear it. I wear waist trainers most of the time. I have Spanx to tuck things in. I normally only buy high-waisted jeans, or jeans at least that are at least mid-waist, so that I can basically put it over my rolls. Like, guys, there's ways of doing things, okay? And I'm that person that has those ways. So the one thing that I'll say to you is, don't think that you will be happy because you start to starve yourself, because it could either go two ways. One, it goes to the extreme, like myself, you lose a lot of weight, you end up with excess skin. It's not a win-win situation, because trust me, now I'm at the point where I'm looking at my body and my body's like this, and it's quite sad. And then two, you could go to the other extreme, whereby you starve yourself, then you lose a bit of weight, but then something happens, or you get comfortable, and then all of a sudden you pile back that weight and even more, because that's what tends to happen when you crash diet or you yo-yo diet. You would have lost a bit of weight, but then the moment that you slip up, you will end up slipping up so far you will put on way more weight. Do not think that is the way to go. It is not. I'm telling you, as somebody who totally understands where you're coming from, and is not just saying it because I just want to say it, but genuinely speaking, okay? You need to find a healthy and sustainable way, because there is no point us losing weight for then a month later you go from a size 16 to 18 to then being a size 22. There is no point of that happening. So one thing that I would say to you and suggest to you is find ways, and even online there's loads of things that we can do, and this is even me speaking to myself, because like I said, I still struggle with yo-yo dieting. So finding something practical and something that works for you, because everyone is different, and one diet that might work for somebody might not necessarily work for you. So finding something that works for you and finding a healthy way to lose weight, i.e. doing that thing that most of us don't like doing, exercise. I still struggle with it now, because I go through phases. It's so annoying. I go through phases where, again, I'll be on it and I will see my body changing and I'll see the difference, and I'll be like, oh my days, I'm doing so well, I'm losing weight, I'm toning up, everything's going right. Then one day, I don't know what will happen, but I just can't get up. I can't bother to get up to exercise today. So then tomorrow I can't be bothered to get up and exercise. So then the next day I can't bother, and then all of a sudden I'm back to square one. Don't be like Lissy, don't be like me. Find a healthy way that works, even if it means exercising every day for half an hour, walking your dog every day, or going out for a run every morning for half an hour. Do it. And alongside that, making sure that you are balancing your meals. You know that you can't sit there and be eating 10 packets of crisps every single day, or even eating, I think even one packet a day is not great for you. Eating one packet of crisps every single day and expecting to lose weight, it doesn't work like that. Making better decisions, you know, really disciplining yourself, not to the point where you're starving yourself, or you're saying to yourself, oh, I can't have this because this is the devil and this is that. Again, that was me. I don't know if anyone else falls under that category, but that used to be me. I used to be that person of like, oh, this is like the devil's food, I can't eat that, or I can't have this because it's the devil's food. And I even said it in a video, I think once. This is how you know we thank God for growth and for progress, because I remember a long time ago, maybe like 2 years ago, or sorry, a year ago, I said in a video, like, you need to look at food differently. Like what I do is I'll go down a food aisle and I look at certain things and be like, oh my God, this is of the devil. I don't do that anymore. Now I'm just about balance. I try to balance it out. Like, cool, I haven't had a packet of crisps for a week. Do you know what? I want to have a packet of crisps, I'm gonna have one, but not doing it in excess, basically. You know, those are just some practical things that I'm learning. I'm still trying to unlearn some mindsets and some things that I used to have as well, which is really difficult. Again, if you're not a nutritionist or someone that wants to sit down and talk about health and whatever, please get at me, because I'm still finding it very difficult. But anyway, the next thing that is also said here is the fact that you don't like to be weak, you don't like to open up to other people, and to other people you seem like this bubbly, confident, amazing person. And again, that was so me. Like, I have always been a bubbly person. I've always been someone that had the confidence in terms of I was able to stand in front of an audience or sit in a room and proudly talk to people. However, within myself, I lacked a lot of confidence in terms of just me, in terms of how I looked, in terms of how I felt about myself. So one thing that I would also say is be intentional about how you feel about the person that's within. You know, really sit down and learn to love yourself. And again, that And I've said it before, and I say it to people all the time, learning to love yourself is also a process, and it's a journey. Learning to grow a confidence that is not just confident as in, oh yeah, I can stand in front of people or I can meet new people and chat, but actually having a confidence within yourself that then radiates on the outside. It really takes time, but you have to be intentional. And you got to remember as well, baby girl, you are young. You know, in this message you said you are 13 years of age. All of these things you will learn and you will come into and you will grow, but give yourself the time and the space and the room for you to learn what it truly is to love yourself, to learn what it is to nourish yourself, and to teach yourself and unteach yourself certain things. Without this video becoming stupidly long, it's really important, really important that you also give yourself that space and that time to know that I'm still young. There's certain things that I'm gonna get better at. There's certain things that I'm gonna do better at or know better of, you know, as I go along. So, you know, you will learn more and you will grow. It is a process and it is a journey, honey bun. But it doesn't mean that there's certain things that you can't do today to help you in that process. But yeah, I think that is all I have to say today. I really do hope that some of the things, you know, helped you. If you're going through the exact same thing as this young lady has just mentioned, you know, maybe you're at a weight that you don't necessarily want to be at. One thing that I'll just say is please ensure that if you do end up doing anything to you know, to change it, because I'm a firm believer, and if you don't like something and you have the ability to change it, go for it. You know, in whichever way you decide to do that, listen, that's between you and yourself, you and God, whatever. I can't tell you how to do that. But if you do feel like you have the means to do it, just like myself, you know, there's no point in me complaining about putting on weight if I'm not making the conscious effort. Again, I'm telling myself this right now because I need to tell myself this too. You know, sometimes I fall into that as well, where I'll be complaining. I'll be like, oh my God, I put on so much weight. On my days, I'm so fat. On my days, I'm so this, I'm so that. I have my days. But it's important for me, number one, to learn to love myself irrespective of how I view myself. Number two, to ensure that the views of this world are not trickling into my mind and my heart and affecting how I look at myself. So that's one thing that I would also tell you to review about yourself as well. Are you saying that you're this and that only because of what the world is saying is acceptable or what you should look like? Because if you're only saying that, oh my gosh, I hate the way I look, because you're looking at TV shows and every magazine and people online and seeing a particular size that is deemed acceptable and then comparing yourself to that, listen, my darling, scratch that. Okay, because this world is teaching us and telling us in every direction how to hate ourselves, how, you know, we should be comparing us. Sorry about that, guys, my battery died, just had to change over the battery pack. But anyway, this world is telling us from every direction, so many different voices and different people telling us why we should hate ourselves, why we should look a particular type of way, and if you don't look this particular type of way, you're not acceptable, you're ugly, you're this, you're that, or buy this product or do this and this will make you happy because you will look like everybody else. Just so many insane things that the world is currently, you know, feeding us and basically making us very insecure. And it's important for us to have these kind of conversations because it's important for us to truly hold on to our principles and our values and hold on to that self-love that is enough to tell you that you might not necessarily look like that, but guess what, you're still beautiful. You might not necessarily be like this, but guess what, you're still beautiful. And that is what I want you to tell yourself every single day. Again, I'm speaking to myself also because I also fall victim of it, but it's just something that is so important to remember. You know, we shouldn't be aligning who we should be or what we should look like because of what we see in regards to other people, or because of what we see and people deem is right or is good or is hot or is on trend or whatever it is. That's not what we should be about. We should be a people that are confident in ourselves, that build ourselves up, because today big bum and big breast is the trend. Tomorrow thigh gap and skinny legs is going to be the trend. So what are you going to do? You're going to keep switching it up every single time, you know, a different trend occurs? No, because just basically just be you and do you, irrespective of what this world is trying to tell you. Drown out all that noise, drown out all the things that is going on outside. Just do you and be you. Aim to look a particular type of way because it makes you happy, because it makes you feel comfortable. It's up to me at the end of the day. It's up to me to eat well, to exercise, and to do all of those things. Otherwise, I can't complain, you know? We can't complain about things that we can actually change and that we have the power to change. But it's also very important to make sure you keep that balance. Keeping the balance between knowing you know, not to go too far, or making that change at the expense of being happy. So trading in happiness just so that you can do a particular thing in order for you to look a particular type of way, if that makes any sense. But yeah, anyway, I know I'm just rambling on right now, but all I can say is just do you, be you. If you're young, especially if you're around that age, 13, 14, 15, even 16, 17, 18, just know you're still growing. You're still growing into yourself. You're still learning. You are not gonna look like this perfect person. You're never gonna look like this perfect person anyway. People that you see on Instagram and stuff like that, even me, listen, I use Facetune and I use VSCO cam to Facetune to remove wrinkles and to smooth out my face. Please understand that what you see online is not the real deal. It's not. And yes, sometimes I have pictures where, or you guys see me on Snapchat and you see me on like Instagram and stuff like that, Instagram story, where you see my real face. Most of the time though, we don't see that. We don't really see the real deal, okay? It's just the way it is. So again, kind of referring back to the first Wake Up Wednesday, stop comparing yourself with other people. Comparison is the thief of joy. It really, really is. Do things your way and do things to make you happy. I really hope that that helped. Stay positive in your mindset. Stay positive in the way that you see and view yourself, and just know that you are beautiful no matter what. So I'll see you guys again in my next video. Stay beautiful.